My chainsaw, sitting right next to two new boxes that were just delivered, can only mean one thing. That story is coming right up. Oh yeah, we are going to be making some modifications to my beautiful 592xp massive saw from Husqvarna. Let's get right to it. Let's do some unwrapping. All right, I'm gonna go with the big box first. This is one of the first recommendations I make to anyone purchasing a new saw that's decent in size. You don't need it for every saw, but for the work that I do, and even some of the 400 series saws, if you can get an addition to the saw, which I'm about to show you, I highly recommend it. Bam! Full wrap handle. Oh yeah. Another clutch cover. Because of the way the dogs work, you get an extra set of dogs with these, I believe, that go into the slot here. We'll show you that in a second. Nice sized dogs. I'll have to compare these to the ones that are already on there. Check that out. Good size. Oh. Yeah. Bam! Westcoast Saw. All right. What I have ordered is, bam, the Westcoast Saw 3-point felling dogs. I really like these dogs. I'm going to show you why also in a little bit. So we have everything here to install these upgrades on my 592. I'm going to keep that in the package because I'm going to try to use the one that I have. The 592xp comes with a magnesium clutch cover. I like the metal on the clutch covers because if something bangs into it or you drop your saw, I believe it's less prone to break. Not that you would ever have that problem. They're such big saws, you know they're not going to fall from anywhere. You typically just set them down. But if something falls on it while it's laying on the ground for some reason, then you would have it there. So we're going to hold off to that. The only other thing you have to verify on these handles is the model number that you are going to put on your saw. So I have a 592xp Mark II auto tune, and it's the most up-to-date saw in that series for the 592. And you want to make sure that you get the right model number of the full handle wrap that goes with the Mark II. There's another full handle wrap that goes with like the Mark I, and you want to avoid that if you have a Mark II. Obviously, the lineup of the bar is slightly different. And when I ordered this one, I specifically asked for the Mark II because it was listed on the drop-down menu, so I think I have the right one. But we're going to find out anyways. The other thing I like about the one that comes on the saw, the clutch cover, is that it's got the capture nuts on it. So you just unloosen them and then they won't fall off when you're trying to change a saw or anything. If you look closely at this clutch cover, it just has the holes for where the nuts go. So they could be prone to being lost. So I always like the capture nuts on here, and they will never come loose from that. So that's why I want to keep this also. 1, 2, 3. That's connecting everything to this side of the frame. I'll show you here real quick. You see the 3 I'm talking about there? 2 at the bottom and then the 1 at the top. The one in the middle goes into this hole. I don't know what that does. We've got 2 on the bottom, so we've got 5 total. They look like star hexes, so maybe 24s, I'm guessing. So let's go ahead and get our bits for those, and we'll take this handlebar off. I found the right bit for these bolts that are in here, so let's go ahead and start taking this apart. I'm just going to start on this side first and make sure we go the right way. This one out. Top one that goes into the spring, it's much smaller, so check this out. There's the difference. And then on the bottom here, there's two more. So let's check those out. There we go. Bam. And there it is. It's removed, folks. This piece fell off here at the bottom of the saw while I was taking the handle off, and I couldn't figure out where it went. So I had to go to my other saw to see where it fit. And right at the bottom of the handle here, it just fits over like that. Rookie. And this new handle is going to give this saw a completely different look, number one. Yep, that looks pretty good. This bolt that is extending right here, let me see if I'm going to bring you in for a closer view. That one right there, that's going to go into that hole, but it doesn't go anywhere, so I don't know what that does again, but if you know what that is for, go ahead and leave a comment. Yep, it looks like it's going to line, oh yeah, that's going to line up. Check that out. Oh yeah, check that out. That's awesome. The screws came out just fine. They're locked into place, but I'm going to put some Loctite in each one of these screws because this is a 592. It's got 90 cc's. It's a beast and a monster, and I don't want anything coming loose while I'm going through a 24-inch or a 30-inch or a 36-inch piece of wood. That could cause some issues. I've got my Loctite Blue 242. Whoa. All right. It's just a matter of flipping it over. The holes line up. Check this out. I'll pull this down for you here. Not only did the holes line up, but there's a little guide hole here with a nib that sticks out. So we know that's going to go in correctly. So that's great. One thing I didn't realize when I put the new handle on, the two bolts that I had here before that came out of here, that was only for the half handle. There's another hole down here, if you look closely, that is for the other side of the handle, and I didn't have a bolt for it because the original one didn't have it. And then I realized, why don't you just go to the bolts that they sent you? And that's what we're doing. It's being a little bit stubborn. Just gotta move it over. Two more to put in. This is the new one I pulled out. I'm just gonna use that. I don't have to put any Loctite on it. It's already there. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's awesome. That is a thing of beauty. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dry fit the clutch cover, which I'm automatically assuming is going to go back into place correctly. But, and there it is. Fits perfectly in there. Let's bring the camera down so you can see it. Check that out. So now what this means is I don't have to worry about using the other clutch cover with the dogs that came with it, because I should be able to apply the dogs that came from Westcoast Saw onto the saw. I'm going to attach the Westcoast felling dog to the actual saw itself first. The holes do appear to line up here. The bottom one's a little longer too. Check that out. If that fits. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect fit. So I'm going to get the bottom one on first. Do the same thing here. I'm going to apply some Loctite to this. I'm not going to tighten it too tight. I want to be able to have some move up here. Yep. So there's a hole on the other side that matches what this looks like. So when you put this in there, it will lock. A couple of times. Done. Bring the camera down again for you. I want to show you the difference in size of these dogs again. So this is the inside Westcoast Saw dog that you see on here. And then this is the original that you're going to bring into the focus here. Look at the difference here. Look in the bottom here. These stick out at least 1.5 inches to for the second one from the bottom up, and then the bottom one's about 1 inch out. The top one is still about 1 inch out, but it extends further out. Same deal. We're going to remove these 2 bolts and simply stick the new ones on. Again, look at the difference on this. That's freaking awesome, isn't it? Out with the new, in with the newer. Okay. All right, we're going to tighten the top one. Nice and tight. Get the bottom one here. There we go. Now, let's see what this looks like. That is quite the difference. Bringing the camera down for you all again. Look at that. Holy cow, that's huge. Let's get the bar and chain back on and see what it looks like. I've got the bar back on this monster of a saw, and let's see if we can move this around here to show you what's going on. So check this out. Oh my gosh. Forgot how heavy this thing is, but the dogs are on there. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? And if you look at the dogs, they line up perfectly. So I am really looking forward to getting this into a tree and seeing how these work. I am sure they're going to work perfectly fine, better than expected, considering I have these on all my other saws. And with that, we are going to bring this one to a close because I don't have any more modifications at the moment to make to this saw. And if I do, all of you out there in Webland will certainly see it. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close this one out. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or even constructive feedback, leave them down in the comments below. And until next time, peace out.